slide. We hope that you enjoy it and learn so much about the Netherlands. We have so much information to give you. So we'll start off with Drake Reese. He will be giving out the first four slides, and then we have Adeline that will present after me, and Macy Polity. And I am Abraham Garcia Gonzalez. I am the first person to be presenting the first slideshow. Discussing agendas about competitive advantages and global strategies, implemented specialized strategies, organization and research and development, disruptive technology strategies and innovative principles, marketing strategies and production site usage, entry modes and organizational structures, political risks, mediation strategies, decision making and control structures, performance evaluation methods, and last but not least, summary of key findings. These are your top agendas that we will be discussing through the PowerPoint.
The key points for competitive advantage are to focus on high quality, sustainable, and innovative products, align strategy with Dutch consumer values, leverage Netherlands' technological readiness, and don't compete on low-cost leadership. So to achieve a long-term competitive advantage in the Netherlands, the company will focus on differentiation, not cost leadership. Dutch consumers value high-quality, sustainable, and health-oriented products. According to Halsted's Cultural Dimensions, their preference for innovation and sustainability makes them an ideal audience for the premium products. With the Netherlands ranking third globally in technological readiness, we can further differentiate by integrating smart technology and eco-tracking into our offerings. So the key points for global strategy are to adopt a transitional strategy, centralize manufacturing and branding, and leverage the EU. So for our global strategy, we'll implement a transitional approach. This balances global efficiency with local responsiveness. The Netherlands' political stability and its key location in the EU provide major advantages. We'll centralize key activities like manufacturing and branding, but adapt product features and marketing to meet Dutch sustainability standards, data privacy regulations, and consumer expectations. EU trade agreements will allow us to scale efficiently while staying close to local needs. Specialized strategies for emerging markets. So the key points are to use the Netherlands as a base to reach emerging markets, localize product design, implement flexible pricing, mobile-first platforms, and inclusive innovation, and build community partnerships and support micro-distribution networks. So while the Netherlands itself is not an emerging market, we will use it as a platform to expand into developing regions. Our strategies will prioritize product localization, cost effectiveness, and mobile technology integration, while offering flexible pricing, partnering with local entrepreneurs, and supporting mobile-based customer service will help us overcome infrastructure challenges and create strong brand loyalty across emerging economies. The key points for organizing research and development are to set up centralized research and development in the Netherlands, focus on research development on sustainable products like cybersecurity and smart tech, promote knowledge sharing across regions. Finally, for research and development, we'll establish a hybrid structure, centralized management in the Netherlands with satellite hubs in emerging markets. The Netherlands' investment in research and development and strong intellectual property protections make it an ideal innovation center. We'll focus on sustainable products development, smart infrastructure, and regulatory compliance for the EU, while our emerging markets R&D centers will customize products to local needs and foster inclusive innovation.
Technology strategies. So many of information that has been collected for Netherlands is some of the technologies that has been developed. It is known as artificial intelligence, known as AI. So it's a great tool to apply into the business world. Many developers and researchers have said that artificial intelligence is a good tool to use.
And so, since it's provided a great innovation system, good growth technologies examples are strong cybersecurity and integrated photonics. So they have this strong cybersecurity by creating a aim for protection of national security. Netherlands aims for high quality and provide all these businesses a good usage for technologies. Netherlands has an advancement in quantum technologies, which that means that they're aim for high power computers that transmit communication to another and provides a supportive environment for in the workforce. Netherlands is known for their entrepreneurial mindset. That is why we will explain the process of innovation. They encourage businesses to be innovative, to have ideas, to know how to implement them. The country seeks to address areas of challenges in climate change and digital transformation. It is something that they have been striving to do for a couple of years, which is why Netherlands will use partnership methods to apply the effects of climate. For example, private-public companies. Those companies seek to work under the government. But not only that, these companies tend to use education, which is good. Education is highly recommended in the Netherlands. They invest in education and training to initiate a high-skilled workforce. We know that AI keeps growing, keeps becoming more smarter than usual. It is why AI is seen as a coordination expertise. That is why the joint ventures with public and private companies use AI. It's a great tool, great resource. Of course, these companies must know how to use it the most legally way. And that is why specialized programs in AI and generative AI are going to be used. Like, for example, IBM company, they use AI. It seems that their businesses tend to thrive with using AI. Principles to implement for innovation strategy. The government could start allowing tax benefits to businesses or grant encouragement to businesses to develop innovative products and services for the people. AI can provide valuable insights and cause customer engagement, helping industries in making decisions more efficient. In the business world, we want our customers to be satisfied with what they're looking for, what they seek. AI can help that. We know that management requires a lot of mind thinking. AI has helped many managers in helping in decision making. It is proven, it is factual. Not only that, we believe that if we use this method of allowing tax benefits, this could generate and fortify innovation strategy, especially in the Netherlands. By implementing financial support could help out many businesses, small or big. These corporations can grow. Netherlands could use this method. I would highly suggest it because it is needed. One could know.
Some of the considerations for marketing in the Netherlands requires an understanding of all of the cultural norms that they uphold. Some of these are much different customs than what we have in the United States. For instance, the language is Dutch. Although most people speak English, a lot of people will only speak Dutch. The Netherlands also faces gender discrimination, meaning that pay differences in careers is common between men and women and is definitely a male dominated workforce. So a lot of these supervisor positions unfortunately do go to only males. There's also a lot of legal regulations is another large consideration. So there are several laws that have to be followed when marketing for a product. Very important to take into account for that. Lastly, personalities of the Dutch consumers are very different than what we see here. A lot of the Dutch people are known to be very straightforward and direct, like no funny business, no lollygagging around. They are very time conscious and scheduled. So it's important that when we market and we advertise to keep that in mind, how personalities do change and are different. It's important to keep them clear, short, and concise when marketing. As far as usage for the production sites, starting out, the main focus will be on the European market. Once we have confidence there, then we'll begin to explore more global integration side of things, meaning that we will take our company's product and operations and strategies across the world to different countries. This is done by expanding to different countries all over the world, starting probably pretty small and then working our way up into multiples. This will help achieve global efficiency with our product. Upon entering a new market, we will still adjust and focus on their market in that country in order to maintain success while still sticking to our core values and competencies and the way that we do business in the United States. The next topic I would like to discuss is the different modes of entry into the Netherlands. The best entry mode depends on the size of the product. Mainly exporting is what is recommended. It is the best for smaller companies when the production can be cheaper. This provides low risk for investment as well as an easier withdrawal process if needed to back out for any reason. The downside of direct exporting is that the company has less control over the consumer relationships that they're building, as well as the local marketing aspect of it. For larger firms, a wholly owned subsidiary is beneficial for more of a long-term commitment. This allows for the company to have full control as well as good brand presence and exposure. The downside is the cost. It is pretty high to do this. For the service industry, the best entry point would be franchising. This is recommended for any kind of like retail, hospitality, or food industry, allowing for rapid expansion as well as investing locally. The downside to that is the quality control challenges that are faced. The next topic is organizational structure. Basically, there will be a main office or headquarters located in the United States. This is where most of the decisions and business topics will be handled. The plan is to hire a local managers that would be present in the Netherlands for the time being. This will be beneficial to have the familiarization with the local community, insight, and everything for the company. This manager will uphold company values and expectations while practicing in the Netherlands. He or she would act as a merger, so there is guidance when learning the new cultural norms and values that are expected there, as well as upholding the business and values that we currently hold in the United States. The plan would be to bring the manager to the United States for training. Once they have learned everything, settled, that kind of thing, and are confident with the company, core competencies, values as a whole, everything, they will then return to the Netherlands to start the business there.
I would first like to discuss the different political risk mitigation strategies that will be used within the company. So when businesses expand into new markets, they must understand the local laws and regulations that are in place. The Netherlands, they have a progressive taxation system. So their income tax rate is 13.9% and the corporate tax rate is 26%. Now, this corporate tax rate, it can be considered a bit higher when comparing it to other countries. So that's definitely something our company will have to look out for and take into consideration when developing a reasonable budget for our operations. Now, these laws and regulations, they can also impact our profitability, our operational costs, and our pricing strategies. So we'll also have to look out for that as well. Changes in regulations over time, they are bound to happen. So this can create some uncertainty with the future and also lead to some tax risks. So to mitigate this risk, our company will have to keep up with current and future regulations and also be prepared for any anticipated regulations. We will also ensure that tax officials will be present when making financial or operational decisions. Now, the Netherlands, they have a strong desire to be environmentally sustainable. So because of that, they have an Environmental Protection Act, and that consists of environmental laws and a management plan to reduce waste and pollution. If companies fail to comply with these regulations, they are likely to face increased costs, legal action, and even be shut down temporarily or permanently. So, to avoid these harmful risks, we will adopt environmentally friendly practices, not only to comply with regulations, but also to gain some respect from the citizens who share the same values. And then we can hire professionals who specialize in identifying and assessing regulatory changes to stay updated with new regulations. Now, for political risk mitigation strategies continued, the Netherlands, they are considered to be the central trade hub for Europe, so they engage in a lot of trade. So this requires that businesses stay up to date on laws on both imports and exports. Businesses must comply with trade regulations, tariffs, exporter-import controls, and safety regulations. There will be an import and export control system that will conduct regular checks to ensure that the trading of goods and operations are kept up with health and safety laws. So to adhere to these requirements, our company will have to keep investing in equipment, systems, and employee training. We will also try to diversify production in the Netherlands. So for this, we could try and not have to outsource as much to not face the risk of not knowing other countries' trading regulations and laws and such. Now, since we engage in a larger amount of trade, unpredicted changes in policies or regulations can take place. So this might contribute to potential harmful risks that will negatively affect our operations. We will have to monitor political stability to increase awareness of potential changes in policies or regulations, and we will also try to build relationships with government officials to mitigate this risk as well. I would also like to discuss the type of decision-making that will be used within the company. So on the Hofstede analysis, the Netherlands, they have a lower power distance. So this means that they value equality more and they don't place as high of importance on a title within a company. So because of this, we will use a consensus-based decision-making style. Now, all employees will be expected to consult with one another and contribute ideas or opinions to make final decisions. Over on the right, I did include a little chart to show you how this system actually works. So first, we will discuss it, propose it to everyone, we'll then test for consensus. If people have concerns or issues with it, we will then have to modify the proposal until we achieve the consensus. Now, with this style, frequent meetings are required, and employees will be expected to collaborate with each other and work as a team. Now, the great thing about this style is that since employees have to agree initially to make the decision, we are less likely to have to go back on decisions and make changes within the company. Next, I would like to talk about the control structures that are implemented. So we operate with an egalitarian system, and this supports a decentralized system. So that basically just pushes the decision-making further down the line to lower levels of personnel. So we have an external control process, and this mainly focuses on building relationships, peace, and flexibility. With our communication, we will be direct and honest. So if there's an issue with a group or an employee, they will be talked to, and constructive criticism will be provided. It will be very straightforward to improve operations and grow the company. So micromanagement will also not be encouraged because employees and teams, they're expected to work together, or they are trusted enough to make their own decisions and problem solve. So leaders will not be expected to supervise every task. They're just there for guidance when employees need it. The last thing I would like to talk about is our performance evaluation. So we will use the personnel performance evaluation method to measure both employees and group efforts within the company. So this will measure their quality of work, productivity, collaboration, teamwork, and innovation. Now, we will use a lot of feedback within the company, so I have provided this little effective feedback cycle that will be used. So we'll discover our issues first, try and figure out the causes of why it's happening, try to figure out how to fix the issue, and then we'll commit to action and finally evaluate the performance again, see if it's improved at all. Now, we could also use assessment centers, and this is more of a comprehensive example of testing employees. It's kind of like determining whether or not an employee would be a good fit higher up in the company. So employees will be provided with managerial exercises, teamwork decision exercises, and business decision exercises. Now, it is important to measure group performance and individual performance, but also we must measure financial performance. So we will use the return on investment formula by dividing profits by assets. This will help identify the profits, losses, and revenues that we experience after all expenses. And this measure of performance will also ensure that an accurate budget will be in place to control both current and future costs. Now, to wrap everything up, the Netherlands, they provide a great opportunity for business expansion as it is politically stable, innovative, and technologically advanced. The Netherlands, they offer flexible market access since it is a central trade hub in Europe, but also local laws and regulations must be understood and complied with to maintain safe and legal operations to maximize success and profit.